Hi everybody, it's Mr. Gray here. Thank you again for another great week. I'm fast forwarding a little bit. I'm recording this on Thursday, but we have our big writing celebration on Friday. So I'm just gonna say thank you for coming. So many people signed up, and it's gonna be a really fun time to get to see some of the hard work that your students have been doing, and to get to celebrate that all together. So thank you for coming to that. I have a few announcements this week. Number one, I sent home a piece of paper with the girls. It's girls talk night. It's a great thing to come to. Moms and daughters come together, talk about growing up. If you haven't signed up, it's great. There will be a guys talk night later in the year. Same thing. I highly recommend to get some great conversations started in your family. There's a link on the updates page also to RSVP. The other thing I want to talk about is there's a planetarium field trip coming. It's not coming till the end of October, but next week we're already into October. So please fill out the permission slip so your child can go. If you have any questions about that, send me an email and let me know. Also, we can talk about it at conferences, but just let me know about that. And then secondly, if you can send in $45 to help pay for all the field trips, that is a really big deal, and it really helps us be able to do all these field trips. It literally pays for the buses and the entrance to the planetarium, as well as other field trips down the line. So you can send cash or check for that one. The last thing I just want to tell you about is conference signups. So the conferences are coming up in just a couple of weeks. The kids next week are going to start working on their slides that they're going to prepare for you a little bit. So please sign up if you haven't. There's a link on the updates page and the email that I sent out. So hopefully you can find a time. There are some Saturdays, and then of course some time after school. And then the Tuesday, October 8th is off. The kids do not have school that day, and so there's lots of sign up days that day as well. And then finally, Picture Day is Wednesday, October 16th. So that's coming up too. As far as academics go, as usual, we have a lot of things going on next week. In reading, the kids are reading realistic fiction books, and they're going through some practice of reading with a specific intent. So we're not just consuming every word that I see. I'm really stopping and having to think about what I'm reading about, and then with the intention of I'm going to write about it, or I'm going to do a project about it. So I need to be a little more thorough in my thinking. I'm not just quickly scanning through to get the surface level information. So that takes a lot of practice. We're doing that right now. Parents, you can think of it like if you were in a book club and you wanted to discuss a book. That's kind of what they're prepping for, is they're able to kind of pull out their own analysis, not simply a summary that the book is happening. So we're going to do that work next week. We also might take a quiz about quoting from a text and comparing and contrasting characters. I'm reading out loud The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. We got through an incredibly sad chapter you can ask your kids about today. I think we'll probably finish it next week, or we'll get very close. In writing, like I said, this week was all about celebrating and finishing their first published piece. Next week, we're going to start a new story, and we're going to have a little bit of a different focus. We're going to go over how their last story is scored. We're going to talk about some goals going forward, and then get into our new story. In math, the kids are going to finish up our first unit about operations and algebraic thinking. They're going to identify relationships between corresponding terms and make graphs from ordered pairs. And then we'll take a little quick quiz, I think, next week about that. And then we'll also be doing some CML practice and some review of the work that we did before. In social studies, we're on to our second chapter, which is all about Christopher Columbus and the Spanish, and how they explored both North and South America during the Age of Exploration. We already talked about Portugal, and then the third lesson is going to be all about the Columbian Exchange. The kids will work on a study guide, and probably at the end of next week, take kind of like a final quiz about that. So like they said, there's a lot going on. They're going to take a test for science. They have already done all the prep work they need to do in Science Lab with Mrs. DeMarco. So I think we're going to take that on Tuesday, but it's not anything they need to study for in particular. They have all the information they need. We're going to study some different elements of verb tenses for grammar next week, and we will meet our buddies. So as always, a very busy week. Thank you again for all your support, and thank you for coming to our awesome writing celebration. We will see you next week. All right. Bye-bye.